Good morning. Here's Governor Bambi Emano's accomplishment report from March 21 to March 26 of 2021. Starting off with Sunday, the governor fills the day with events that proves his administration's competency and genuine care as he and the majority bloc tirelessly work when most are at rest. Clarice Enterina will give us the details.
On Sunday, March 21, 2021, the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, in partnership with Tourism Promotions, Board of Department of Tourism, spearheaded the photo exhibit and launching of Project Emano at SM Uptown, Cagayan de Oro City. Similar events were also happening simultaneously at different locations throughout the Philippines. Present in the said event are Board Member Gerardo Buboy Sabal III, Board Member Alan Manduquita, NCIP Executive Director Rogelio Francisco Bantayan Jr., NCIP Regional Director Ana Burgos, TESDA-10 Regional Director Marigold Chari Garuzo, Indigenous People leaders and Indigenous People mandatory representatives from the province of Misamis Oriental and Lanao del Norte. Governor Bambi Emano has long supported the advancement and uplifting of indigenous peoples, advocating for social awareness regarding IP's living conditions, creating programs that sustain and protect their way of living, and formulating resolutions that seek to protect their ancestral domains. Later that day, 246 vials of AstraZeneca vaccine were sent off to municipalities of Taguluan, Upol, Medina, Balingasag, Initaw, Villanueva, Hasaan, and Alubihid, and to the cities of Ringoog and El Salvador. The vaccines will immediately serve 2,662 frontliners among the rural health units, temporary treatment monitoring facilities, city health offices, including the barangay health workers, following the prioritization framework for efficient and proper implementation of the vaccination rollout. The province of Misamis Oriental, with the leadership of Governor Bambi Emano and IATF Chief Dr. Jerry Kalingasan, never miss out the essential steps in conducting safe, proper, and efficient vaccination operations in continuing the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Clarice Enterina, PIO.
For Bustling Monday, so-called because of the multitude of activities Governor Bambi Emano undertakes for the day, a myriad of events once again respond to various pressing issues of the province. Here's Danny Abshama Jr. for the story.
On Monday, March 22, 2021, Dr. Jerry Kalingasan reported that Misamis Oriental have already vaccinated most of its health workers with Sinovac and AstraZeneca vaccines, and the inoculation of COVID-19 vaccine is still ongoing in the municipalities identified by DOH with the highest number of COVID-19 cases, namely Opol, El Salvador City, Alubihid, Initaw, Taguluan, Villanueva, Hasaan, Balingasag, Medina, Hingog City, and Quinoguitan. The sub-priority groups under Priority Group A were also explained by Dr. Jerry Kalingasan. Barangay health workers, contact tracers, and Barangay Health Emergency Response Team, or BHERTs, are the individuals in Sub-Priority Group A. The discussion on the sub-prioritization list under the Greater Prioritization Framework for the COVID-19 vaccination is to clarify emerging questions pertaining to the ongoing vaccination campaign. Dr. Jerry Kalingasan encourages everyone to get vaccinated in believing that once the threshold is crossed, COVID-19 will only have a few human hosts to choose, dramatically driving down transmission rates. Moreover, during the virtual flag raising ceremony of the provincial capital, a check amounting to 2,162,000 was formally turned over by Governor Bambi Emano to Mr. Leon Tan Jr., President of Northern Mindanao Hog Racers Association Incorporated, for the first batch of hog racers affected by ASF, equaling to 314 individuals. Mr. Tan is beyond thankful for the continued support of the provincial government through Governor Bambi Emano and the Sangguniang Panlalawigan board members for officials' sincere service by looking over the welfare of the people. Furthermore, the Regional Director of the Bureau of Fire and Protection Region 10, Director Carlos Dueñas, paid a visit at the Governor's office, with Governor Bambi Emano welcoming him and his party. Together with the Regional Director was Director Gregorio El Bambo, the Provincial Director of BFP Misamis Oriental, Engineer Nolly De La Rita, Chief of Public Information Section, Superintendent Romel Villafuerte, Regional Chief Directorial Staff and Senior Fire Officer 2, Joey Libutan, the ORD staff. The visit mentioned the agency's plan to construct fire stations in the town of Libertad and Binuangan. An area of not less than 500 square meters is required for the construction of such stations. An additional plaque of recognition was also handed over by the BFP-10 to the Misamis Oriental Provincial Government under the supervision of Governor Bambi Emano for its tireless support to the agency. Additionally, on Monday, in a courtesy call, Smart Communications represented by Relationship Manager Tina Kalipaya, Smart Area Development Manager Bernie Diatras, Smart Customer Development Manager Ninoy Monsanto, and Public Affairs Kimi Namukatkat presented to Governor Bambi Emano and to Management Information System Head Engineer Bernardino Balo their newest project called LGU Smart Infocast, a customized solution in communication during these pandemic times. Currently, the dissemination of information is through website, social medias, bulletin boards, and streamers. Smart Communication plans to provide a communication solution that will complement your current communication tools and provide access to information anytime and anywhere, promoting community engagement. Infocast is a web-based solution that offers various SMS facilities, various functions and capabilities catering to the needs of the community or organization. Smart Infocast's advantages are quick activation using only mobile phones and computers with internet access, and no special hardware or software is required. Completely independent as users upload content. Finally, Provincial Veterinary Head Dr. Benjamin Resma gave an update on the new cases of African swine fever in Misamis Oriental. He added that the new cases were detected from Purok 12 Poblacion Lagindingan, Purok 4 Santo Niño Libertad, Purok 7 Lumbo Alubihid, and in Nahulugan Malanang Upol, that increases the number of affected barangays to 18 and the number of municipalities affected to 6. The office immediately conducted stamping out or depopulation operations on March 16 to the affected areas of Alubihid and Libertad. In total, 1,462 pigs have been culled and 378 hog raisers have been affected. Provet is now tightening up measures and protocols to prevent the further spread of ASF. Danny Obshama Jr., PIO.
On Tuesday, Provincial IATF's health advisory for the Holy Week takes the center stage, with PAGRO and PDRRMO living true to their mandate of serving the people. Geo Denke will tell us more.
Philippine Health Insurance Corporation 10 Regional Vice President Director Orlando Inigo Jr. visited the provincial capital for a courtesy call with Governor Bambi Emano on Tuesday, March 23, 2021. Along with him were PhilHealth CDO Head Mr. Marlon Arabaca, PhilHealth Public Affairs Head Merlin Ibanez, and PhilHealth Executive Assistant Mr. Zuber Ruiz. They were warmly welcomed by the father of the province, who extended his kudos to the new Regional Vice President of PhilHealth, replacing Datu Masiding M. Alonto Jr. Director Inigo's visit was a success, as also coordination and cooperation with the provincial capital on future PhilHealth programs was established. Talks between the governor and the director revolved around the Universal Health Care, or UHC, or the Kalusugan Pangkalahatan KP program of PhilHealth, which aims to provide every Filipino with the highest quality of healthcare through efficient, equitable distribution, adequate funding, and proper use to inform and empower each individual. Moreover, on Tuesday, board member Frederick Hu, together with provincial agriculturist Jose Apollo Kamalan, inspected the parental grant stock for the Integrated Rice Duck Farming System, or IRDFS project, the very first livestock breeding program of the province, in the Misamis Oriental Provincial Agricultural Development Complex, or MOPAD-C, in Anii, Claveria. The Integrated Rice Duck Farming System, or IRDFS project, aims to promote rice duck farming, an idea pioneered and introduced in the country in 1997 by our very own provincial agriculturist Jose Apollo Kamalan. Governor Bambi Emano, alongside board member Frederick Hu and PAGRO head Jose Apollo Kamalan, aims to distribute quality ducks for rice duck farming, egg production, and duck meat production. A total of 675 4-day-old ducklings are now being prepared by PAGRO prior to distribution. Also, inspected by board member Ku and provincial agriculturist Kamalan, are the breeding houses currently being constructed. On the other hand, PDRRMO Misamis Oriental personally participated in a virtual training entitled Disaster Risk Reduction Management Course for Public Sector. This is for Batch 1 conducted by the Office of Civil Defense or OCD-10. This is to further enhance their skills in responding to disasters to better safeguard missions. Lastly, on Tuesday, to set the guidelines for an orderly and safe celebration of Holy Week, the Misamis Oriental Provincial IATF has released a new health advisory. The guidelines is requiring all religious activities to follow the IATF MEID guidelines and maintain the 50% capacity rule for participants in conjunction with strict enforcement of the minimum public health standards. Accordingly, the following activities are prohibited from March 29, 2021 to April 3, 2021. Religious procession, spiritual pilgrimage through the Stations of the Cross, religious street plays, and analogs activities. All tourist destinations are also strictly mandated to comply with the 50% capacity rule of receiving visitors on the upcoming Easter Day, April 4, 2021. GYVBE, PAO.
On Wednesday, Pagro brings cacao farmers to greater heights and MOPJ provides the spiritual needs of its inmates. Raymark Semania has the details.
On Wednesday, March 24, 2021, with the goal to create competitive and sustainable cacao farming through provision of post-harvest and processing facilities, which will boost promotion of value-added activities and poverty alleviation in Misamis Oriental, a ceremonial turnover of shared service facility through the provision of cacao post-harvest and processing equipment and facility in CFAP at Sitio Daroca, Barangay Poblacion, Claveria, was undertaken by Provincial Agriculturist Jose Apollo Pacamalan, Board Member Eric Ku, DTI Region 10 OIC Regional Director Mr. Ermidio J. Abang, and Claveria Municipal Mayor Meraluna S. Abrugar. The 32-member CFAP, together with the other cacao farmers, 8 direct workers and 175 indirect workers in Claveria, will benefit from the essential SSF equipment, such as the production building, fermentation box, solar dryer, roasting machine, sheller, and grinder, all vital for cacao production. Also, with the constant support from the ever-dynamic Governor Bambi Emano and the Department of Trade and Industry, CFAC envisions to protect the environment by becoming a greener manufacturer of tablea and a source of technical knowledge in cacao production and post-harvest facilities by developing its own modules and acquiring technologies in advancing the cacao industry in Misamis Oriental. In another development in line with the upcoming celebration of the 23rd PSEMCO anniversary, the Provincial Capital Employees Multipurpose Cooperative started the distribution of the 50% dividends to its 770 regular and associate members. As of date, the cooperative has already released 341,680 pesos, while the other 50% of the dividends will be given on May 2021 during its 23rd General Assembly. These also became possible due to the ceaseless support of the father of the province, Governor Bambi Emano, together with the genuine service of PSEMCO officials under the chairmanship of Mr. Andrew Gapuz, PSEMCO Manager Flor Deliz P. Tabamo, and the rest of the staff. Also on Wednesday, in observance with the Holy Week, inmates of the provincial jail participated in the conduct of the Station of the Cross inside the jail facility. This spiritual practice is designed as part of the inmates' holistic formation that will help prepare themselves for reintegration back into the community, as well as in their development into being well-rounded individuals with strong faith responsible for the development of the community. Raymark Simania, PIO.
On Thursday, with 2 courtesy calls and 2 strategic interventions, Governor Bambi Emano ensures stagnation of programs is avoided. Here's Jane Salimbao for the full details.
On Thursday, March 25, 2021, Board Member Federico addressed the Municipal Agriculture and Fishery Council of Tagulwan and discussed the program of the Provincial Government and of Governor Bambi Emano. He presented the coconut industry project of the province, particularly in establishing a processing facility for virgin coconut oil. This will increase the price of the husked coconut from the current 8 per kilo to 15 to 25 per kilo, greatly increasing coconut farmers' income from 200 pesos per tree per year into 1,000 pesos per tree per year. On the same day, LTO Region 9 Director Aminola Abaton and LTO Region 10 Director Nelson Manoloto visited Governor Bambi Emano talks regarding the mechanics and preparations needed for the operation of the Heroic Trooper Advocacy Auxiliary to the Safeway program was undertaken. Heroic Trooper Advocacy Auxiliary to the Safeway is a combined effort between LTO and TESDA that promotes automated certification and education of student drivers for all student permit applicants who wish to get an SP driver's license, in which applicants would undergo a 15-hour theoretical driving lesson before obtaining their license. Furthermore, the newly appointed 13th Commander of the Eastern Mindanao Command, Major General Greg Almirol, visited Governor Bambi Emano at the Provincial Governor's Office. Major General Almirol was sworn into office on March 1, 2021. The Eastern Mindanao Command is in charge of the following units under its watch: 4th Infantry Division of Philippine Army, 10th Infantry Division Philippine Army, Naval Forces Eastern Mindanao of Philippine Navy, 10th and 11th Tactical Operations Group of Philippine Air Force, and 5th Civil Relations Group CRS of Armed Forces of the Philippines. The Eastern Mindanao Command, also known as EastMincom, is one of the Armed Forces of the Philippines' unified commands combating terrorism and insurgency in Eastern Mindanao. Moving forward, the Provincial Cooperative Office conducted its on-site visit to Pag-ugmat sa Kaugmaon Agriculture or Pagsaka Cooperative at San Isidro Hasaan, Misamis Oriental. This is to assess the cooperative's request for financial assistance to the Honorable Governor for their coconut marketing and value creation of coconut sap byproducts. The Provincial Cooperative Office will deliver Governor Bambi Emano's assistance to the cooperative after the results of the assessment is finalized. On another story, Mr. Luisito Domilas from TESDA Regional Office 10, Mr. Jerome Manriquez from TESDA MISOR, Mr. Erwin Dabadan and Mr. Julius Cardenas from TESDA KNAS, Board Member Eric Ko and Jose Apollo Pacamalan, Provincial Agriculturist, engaged in a meeting to establish a Young Farmers Academy, a training center for young farmers. When realized, the Young Farmers Academy will empower the new generation of farmers to be the next in line in providing quality and nutritious food for the people. For the meantime, PDRRMO through PAGRO will tap TESDA as a training provider for agri-crop and organic agriculture production. Lastly, after the fruitful meeting with TESDA Provincial Agriculturist Mr. Jose Apollo Pacamalan and Board Member Eric Ko presented MOPADC's proposed projects to the visiting Department of Agriculture Assistant Secretary for Agribusiness and Marketing Christine Evangelista. Also with her are DA10 Regional Director Carlin Collado, Regional Technical Director for Operations Carlota Madriaga, and Provincial Operations Center Chief Nilda Salas. Provincial Agriculturist Pacamalan and Board Member Ko also showcased the 7-hectare facility to destined visitors and showed actual areas where the proposed infrastructures will be constructed. Jane Salimbao, PIO.
On Friday, the Provincial Engineering Office spearheads another round of infrastructure programs fueling a thriving economic landscape. Here's Queen Exclamador for the full details.
On Friday, March 26, 2021, the Provincial Engineering Office had its turnover of projects under Governor Bambi Emano's Barangay Empowerment Program that focuses on fulfilling proposed projects through the initiative of their barangay captains for the enhancements of their community. Sitio Maliwanag in Barangay Baok-Baok, Balingwan received a total of 1.2 million pesos composed of box culvert for drainage system, construction of barangay road, and improvement of covered court added with the turnover of the following fruit seedlings: 15 durian, 10 lanzones, and 10 rambutan. Same goes to Barangay Mintabon, Talisayan, along with its improved covered court worth 300,000 pesos, both presented by Sangguniang Panlalawigan Board members Wayne Militante and Leonard Winston Lee together with Vice Mayor Bella Veja O. Dilia. Distinguished personalities in the said event are Engineer Tese Galas and Engineer Excel Dagala of the Provincial Engineering Office, joined with Barangay Captain Alan A. Tinao of Barangay Mintabon, Talisayan, and Barangay Captain Helenita A. Kabaktulan of Sitio Maliwanag in Barangay Baok-Baok, Balingwan. Envisioning Misamis Oriental's future towards progress and development, Governor Bambi Emano sees to it that the province secures the essential finances, provision, and procedures for the realization of its vital groundwork projects. Also on Friday, the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, with the supervision and support of PSWDO head John Neymar Abella, showcased its entries of posters and photos through an exhibit in the provincial capital in recognition to the value of women's work, especially in this time of pandemic, that emphasized the incomparable contribution of women in nurturing the society, as well as acknowledging their irreplaceable role in establishing a home as part of a man's success. With this recognition, the women of Misamis Oriental and in entirety were given their reward in such activity that upholds the saying, "A man's success is a woman behind." Twin Exclamador, PIO.
And from March 22 to 26, consolidated reports from various departments and from the Travel and Arrival Committee shows continued delivery of Governor Bambi Emano's support to all Misamisnans. Jebson Patlunag will give us the details.
From March 24 to 25, 2021, on a much-awaited event, the Provincial Health Office successfully conducts the vaccination of 87 PHO medical frontliners and 19 PDRRMO responders, with a total of 109 PGMO frontliners successfully vaccinated. Among the successfully vaccinated individuals was Dr. Jerry Kalingasan, Chief of the Provincial IATF, proving by his act that the vaccination is indeed safe. Newly vaccinated personnel expressed their happiness, echoing the Provincial IATF's stand that being vaccinated is the only way to overcome the pandemic. With this significant undertaking, expect more PGMO employees to be vaccinated in compliance to the prioritization framework of DOH as the supply of vaccine stabilizes. In the long time that the people have carried the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic, PGMO under the leadership of Governor Bambi Emano, along with the Provincial IATF Chief Dr. Jerry Kalingasan, has never ceased to protect the people from the severe impact of the pandemic and has constantly called for cooperation to ultimately suppress COVID-19. While from March 23 to 24, 2021, a training of trainers in farming and farm planning as a business for coffee mentors was conducted by ACDI VOCA, led by Mr. Ludovico Ramirez Jr., Technical Coordinator, and Mr. Alan Dato Imam Sr., Field Technician at the Misamis Oriental Provincial Agriculture Development Complex. PAGRO facilitated this activity with 6 coffee mentor attendees from Claveria, Balingasag, and Barangay Odyongan and Barangay Balason in Hingoog City. The activity aims to understand the process of farm planning as well as proper decision making to identify the specific type of commodity to be planted or a combination of farming systems. This contributes to the ultimate goal of helping farmers increase their production. At the end of the activity, the farmer participants were able to create their farm sketch map and farm and household assets inventory, financial institution linkage plan, and develop individual farm plans. And from March 21 until March 26, 2021, consolidated reports from the Travel and Arrival Committee shows 86 ROFs and 348 LSIs arrived safely in Misamis Oriental via air and sea travel, and a total of 1,426 Misamisnans were accommodated by the provincial government at Marian Suites. Jebson Patlunag, PIO.
With the word rest not in Governor Bambi Emano's dictionary, his acts of public service simply beats everyone in the provincial capital. A subtle message to all employees of the government that serving the people is not an 8-hour-a-day task, but a lifelong commitment. Jinky Receipt, PIO.